Welcome back to Going In Gaming and welcome back to the league that means nothing to. I'm Ian and I'm joined by a new caster. This is Podrick.
Hello.
Podrick has a pretty extensive history in card games with
Yeah.
Netrunner and
hmm
Magic
Yeah.
and is now a Flesh and Blood player. Today,
Formations.
today we have a interesting matchup between the leader of the winner of League One, Carlotta, who is already off to a fantastic start, absolutely decimating uh, Irish compatriot Conor McLaughlin in round one,
Poor
uh,
Connor.
which she did in fact apologise for
Go away, really?
in Amsterdam. Apologised to him.
No way.
And Pascal Weller, who is the sole Betsy, and I think one of
What
two
champion?
Guardians in the league.
What? Two Guardians.
Yeah, the other one's
Oh,
a
there's a
Bravo.
Bravo. Yeah. Brave people. I like as a brother Guardian player. I salute. I salute you
Yeah.
too.
You kind of packed in Guardian at the minute, and I've switched to
Think,
the dark side of Illusionist.
well, listen, it's too tempting. I played miracles. I just love making my opponent's game actions irrelevant.
You are a misery gamer at best.
So fun is zero sum.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure how this matchup is going to go. Generally speaking, Azalea has a tougher time into the Guardians,
hmm
but uh, Betsy is not Bravo.
Betsy's not Bravo.
Betsy is definitely not Victor.
Betsy's definitely not victory. Yeah, I don't know. She can't aggro like Bravo can. She can't just like kill you quickly and present very credible threats. And she isn't Victor, where she can just block with a bunch of guards, have a bunch of armor, and like you know get good value out of blocking. So
Yeah. Now, this being said, into Azalea, the text overpower is effectively dominate.
yes,
Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, over to the games and see how the opponents get on. And as usual, we have Carlotta doing the Spanish webcam cut. Split the deck into three piles. You get to choose what order they get put back together in.
very nice. I
Yeah.
like that.
Fabritorium, obviously Carlotta and Carlos focusing very heavily on sportsmanship,
hmm
especially in a webcam game
Absolutely.
where there's like obvious potential for skullduggery,
And
miscommunications,
misadventure a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, a little bit of shenanigans.
shenanigans. It's a good term for it.
Yeah. And we have, obviously, I can see on Pascal's board the Marvel Betsy.
Well, listen, if you're gonna play Betsy, you gotta it's the thing with playing those slightly less popular heroes. It's you gotta go all in. If you're picking like an Arachne or a Betsy or an Olympia, you're going all in on that.
Now, while there's no Olympia in the league, there is also an Arachne who we may see as well.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I,
You love to fate seal people. What are you talking about?
I do love fixing people.
Okay. Yeah, we see Betsy, pretty standard Guardian setup.
hmm
I going to go out on the limb and assume the headpiece there, which we can't see due to the glare, is the Good Time Chapeau.
It has to be, yeah.
Like,
One of the compelling, well, I wouldn't say compelling, but one of the reasons you play Betsy is that you do get access to a pretty good headpiece.
yeah,
Block 3 has a fairly relevant ability on it. Yeah,
yeah, really triggers her hero text as well. Like,
yes, very important for your hero text.
yeah, and good old Anothos. What better?
Just going to kill. We're not going to hammer for 4. We are going to hammer for 6.
Carlotta obviously breaking out this big pile of streamer dice. Dang. The Azalea cut sleeves, you know, setting up her board, face down.
hmm
She's not coming to play around.
No, she's
She's
treating this
off.
with seriousness.
Yeah. Well, she is the champion of
That's
League One.
true.
You have to keep defending your spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty standard Azalea setup from Carlotta. Snaps, skullbone, bullseyes, tunic, fairly average.
Yeah. I think you see some azaleas will go for the perch grapplers for the 2 block into Guardian, but I think Snaps from being on the other side of this matchup, well, the Guardian anyway, I think Snaps just presents more. You don't want to get into a blocking fight
No.
with
When you're
with
blocking,
Guardian.
you're losing.
You are losing.
Especially if it's like you really want those when it's something like Bravo sending a spinal crush at you.
Yeah.
Um, And obviously Carlotta with the altered Azalea, altered Crow's Nest, altered Death Dealer. So
I think she likes Azalea.
I have no idea, man.
I couldn't tell.
All right, it looks like Carlotta going first,
Mhm.
taking Tunic up. Are we going to see the turn one dominate the Kuba special?
The Kuba special, yeah. I think Azalea turn ones are either dominating turn one or doing absolutely nothing and just doing a little bit of filtering.
Yeah. All right, we've got a bolt and shot loaded. Read the glide path. You know, you're at the very least you're sending seven.
hmm With
We're
with an on hit.
It's definitely not an arrow because that was a thinker. If you have to think about that for a second, it's not exactly where you want to be at.
No. Doing the blind Azalea.
Oof, into a knock the
Oh
death whistle. That is not what you want to see.
no. I think that's maybe the worst blind Azalea you can do. Uh,
Unless you're running defense reactions, then
unless you're in and yeah, that's okay, that's pretty poor.
yeah. So with that, Carlotta is just going to pass over to Pascal. We're going to see what Betsy can do.
I'm very excited to see what a Betsy can do.
Well, I'd wager it's going to be interesting.
Hey,
Connor's not here
I was
today.
about to
Someone has to do
say.
it. Now that's a cool seismic surge there from Pascal,
That is a
and
very
just
nice.
send a
Is that a CNC?
yeah. It looks like everything is altered.
Oh wow.
You can see the tectonic plating there as well as.
Plating's altered. CNCs are okay. We're dealing with people who like their heroes.
Oh yeah,
It looks
like
like.
someone has bought in.
um. Yeah, this is a fairly alright turn one for Betsy.
Like I could honestly see taking six here and just being like, yeah, goodbye knock.
Yeah, goodbye knock. It is a power card, but like at this point, like Betsy has enough armor that like you know if they send over anything, or if Carlotta sends over anything threatening, it's not terrible.
Yeah,
I do like setting up the knocks for like later on in the game when you can use a knock to finish it. So
yeah. No, Carlotta is just thinking about it. Is she do? Is she going to take the damage?
yeah, some
Oh,
tells me she's not going to give a partial block here. It's going to be six
no,
or
no.
zero.
Like, yeah, you can't just partially block something like this. This is, but at least we know there's no pummel following the CNC, so there's no mega punish for taking it if you've just decided that you don't want this knock.
Yeah,
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 send me the bill. My hand is better than this.
yeah. And you're
Totally fair.
pretty happy as Betsy there to get rid of a knock. It
Yeah,
is one of Azalea's best cards, and to not have to deal with one of them is very, very good to see.
I imagine we're going to see some serious damage thrown back though.
Oh, you'd hope so.
Yeah. All right, we have a Death Dealer activation, loading a red Bolton shot, drawing a card. So I imagine this Bolton shot's going to definitely have go again.
Almost certainly. I don't think you want to send over a 2 for 4, a two
No.
card 4.
Yeah, playing a Blood Rot, laced with Blood Rot, Bolton shot for 7. Um, when you have something like this coming in and you're playing on Guardian, obviously, if someone is trading one attack with you, you're pretty happy in that spot, right?
hmm
So would you consider covering up this 7 here?
See, it's a bit like you've nothing in the graveyard, so you don't need to worry about like this being like a codex. They've already used Death Dealer as well, so like personally, I'd probably try and cover this up, especially if my hand is not too. And yeah, this is kind of perfect.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely solid block here.
now there's a Rain Razors, you do get a little bit punished, but like it's not the end of this particular Blood Bolton shot isn't the end of the world. Um, unless like I'm not sure what the Azalea could have there. But yeah, like the worst case, I think the worst part of this is you end up getting a Blood Rot.
Yeah, Carlotta really think yeah, popping the bullseye bracers
Ooh, we're going
early,
for it.
playing the premeditate, using the bullseyes to load another Bolton shot.
Oof.
So this one's a yellow. So this is a 6. Oh no, 7 bullseyes. Obviously 7 on hit. Get a ponder.
Yeah, you definitely want to cover this up. Now you don't have to worry about Rain Razors. And I have found in my time playing against Azalea that you want to keep them off Arsenal as much as possible. You don't want them to have an Arsenal as much as you can. If
Yeah,
Azalea can untap even a 4 card hand with an Arsenal is is still really strong. It just lets them do so much. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I'm Pascal here, I'm blocking this.
Yeah, like as a former Miracles player in Magic, you know how powerful it is to just have sight of the top card of your deck
Yep.
whenever you want. And Skullbone Crosswrap is incredibly good. Like it is pivotal to Azalea's game most of the
Hmm.
time. Now, that being said, a lot of decks these days have kind of moved away from that and are just blind Azaleaing a lot
Yeah. The
because of the inclusion of Balance of Justice.
mhm.
Anyway, yeah, just taking the 7.
Taking the 7
Ponder resolves.
must be a good hand. Um.
Yeah, so we've 3 cards on Pascal's side because and sank one of them. So
Hmm.
obviously a little bit of hand fixing there. It'll be interesting to see what is going to come back because like 7 and a ponder is kind of non-threatening now. It could be something like have your arsenal. Here's my CNC.
Hmm.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, this could be a actually it can't be CNC Pummel's hand makeup, but yeah, we could be looking at like a pretty decent clapback.
Yeah, we have a seismic surge pop. Uh, Something like a choke slam would be pretty
Chuckland would be
powerful
great.
here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Spinal Crush.
also good.
That's a good clapback.
Spinal Crush. If it deals 4 or more damage, all action cards, hero text, everything loses go again.
Yeah, you're
Can't
taking
gain go again. Uh,
Azalea getting red in the ledger. This is red in the ledger.
yeah, yeah. You get 1 action,
Yeah.
and really powerful thing to be doing here from Pascal. Obviously, we've got 2 arrow block here, so that's a 6, covering up the magic number.
Yep.
Taking just 3, going to 31. So I think when you're on an Azalea with cross wrap and 2 cards, you're not looking at anything too scary, but
Hmm.
we do have to remember,
This is also a tunic turn as well, so
yes, very powerful thing to remember. Another Bolton
Bolton
shot.
shot. We're getting all these Bolton shots.
Really, you don't want to be seeing too many of them this early either, because
Hmm.
that's part of your end game against Guardian. Is
Yeah.
your only ability to go wide is to go multiple Bolton shots.
Yeah. Um, Carlotta leaving card on top. Maybe it's a night. Maybe we have 2 pumps in hand and there's an arrow on top.
Could be a oh,
This is.
it's just 3. What could possibly be in hand?
Oh my goodness.
Carlotta has obviously forgotten
Surely.
that it does not have go again.
It doesn't have native go. Ah, yeah.
Oh no, Rain Razors.
Who could have seen that coming?
Yes. Now, thankfully, because of Gauntlets of Iron Will, it only gains 1 point of damage from the Rain Razors.
Um, who does it though? Because you can respond. You
Oh,
can.
you can respond to the trigger.
Yeah, you can rain razors in response to the trigger. Rain razors crucially not being an attack react.
Very important, yeah.
Lets you
Now,
get around the gauntlet.
it looks like it has happened anyway.
Yeah, maybe the players
Carlotta reloading another Bolton shot.
This is not when you want these Bolton shots. You want to be pitching them and setting up like a nice little second cycle, or
Yeah.
even just a late game plan. But yeah,
Looks
this is
like
not happening.
Carlotta does not care for second cycle and is just going to send this Bolton shot over for 6.
I can respect it.
Yeah. If that's a 0 cost arrow that she's drawn as well off the Death Dealer, it could be going very wide here with a 3 arrow turn.
Hmm. And you've bought a little bit of equipment block as well this
Yeah.
early, which is great for the Azalea. You like to see this, so
Not to mention that equipment, just for Pascal, is actually off the combat chain
hmm.
because Death Dealer is an action, thus closing the combat
Closing up the
chain
chain.
and
So
allowing it to be blocked with if you so choose.
if you could, I doubt we will see these two equipment used again. Using 1 block equipment to cover up a 6 power attack is not. There's no real clean way of doing that. We'll
No.
probably just see 2 cards here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like Guardian's equipment is so interesting now as well with the Civic Steps, which
Hmm.
is a really interesting piece of equipment to look at because obviously you're like, it has a downside. So the Guardian, it's really the onus is on them to play around with it in such a way that
Yep.
doesn't give too much advantage.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got a money where your mouth is, pitching a money where your mouth is.
Powerful.
And just a quick hammer for 7. 'Cause
Yeah.
Obviously, Anothos not getting the buff because of having 2 or more cards in the pitch zone with cost 3 or greater. But
It's a wager.
You can wager a gold, and if Pascal has another card, obviously Betsy's hero text could be active.
Yeah, and suddenly we get an 8 overpower hammer coming in.
Yeah.
Um,
If it was a 3 cost, it would be a 9
damn,
overpower, actually.
9 on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the Anothos.
Yes, because Anothos, very importantly, is constantly checking.
Yes,
Yeah, so
you can do fun little pummel tricks.
yeah. This is a pummel for actually +6.
Yeah.
No, Carlotta just saying, send me the bill again. You can have your gold. Uh, doesn't really care too much.
Mhm.
No issues with losing this wager.
We see a take aim in Arsenal.
Really interesting tech seeing Take Aim come back into the game. It
Yeah.
was gone from a lot of Azalea lists for a long time. And the first time I saw it was at Pro Tour LA.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Jake Warburton played it against me on turn 1 going first, allowing him to activate cross wrap right away.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty gnarly.
Yeah, these seeing these take aims come back lets the Azaleas run. I think these Azalea lists now are only running like 3 blues. So you have these really red heavy lists that get to just blind Azalea a bunch, and yeah, take aim is just great in that deck now.
Yeah. Right, so we've a Take Aim played. We've got a reload trigger for Carlotta. Also means if there's an arrow on top with that cross wrap, you can play a buff, reload, and still activate Azalea, which is exactly what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
So I would imagine this is either another buff or an arrow to dominate. Yeah, it's a sleep dart. Not overly relevant in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't think your Betsy hero text is massively like you worry too much about having it turned off. Obviously, it's nice to have, but I think the attacks that you're sending over that are wagering are generally going to be big and awkward to block anyway as Azalea. But
Oh,
now,
now we're getting scary. This is a big one.
yeah, this is
3, 6, 9, 14.
this is 14 with Seek and Destroy, and yeah, this is I'd say 14 Frailty, Seek and Destroy. Pascal's going to have a very unfun turn.
Block 3.
Yep, that you're allowed to block 3 there.
Yeah, that's just it. That's all you got.
That is all you've got.
Nah, not that card.
Not that card.
No.
Not that I think that all you got would do much in this scenario.
Yeah. No, that's a rough one. Just take is are we moving to reactions? Does Pascal have a D react? Guardians known to have a D react or two in Arsenal.
We do like our D reacts.
Yeah, the old sink below staunch response.
Just love me a good staunch.
No,
No,
just taking it. Ouch.
that is rough. Yeah, the might have been if you had a D react, you might have been able to like use some of that equipment that you've got to like try and cover it up because that is an arrow you don't want to let hit. Again, the sleep dart text not massively relevant, but that frailty and that seek and destroy is
very important
killer.
about that seek and destroy because just bet big.
Bet big.
Yeah, when this attacks, you may wager a gold, might, and vigor token. It's all right.
That's fine. It's it can be quite good. Now there's 2 floating here and a card in Arsenal. Betsy text.
Obviously, can't pay the 2 for Betsy. That's why the 2's floating.
Yes. Of course. Yes.
Yeah,
That's why the 2's
such
floating.
a shame that sleep dart really left that 2 just sort of sitting there.
Yeah, those 2 resources. Like, it's a real shame that we probably won't see those used now this turn. It's a
no.
Yeah, the power.
No Guardian has ever found a use for 2 resources.
No. It's a problem with the class actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just got a nice 8 coming in here with a fairly big wager. Like a might and a vigor token is huge, huge value. Like this is the downside of Betsy versus another Guardian, say Victor.
Yes.
Where Betsy has to give the opponent the choice on whether or not they get their might and vigor, whereas Victor just the top of his deck sometimes decides with something like a trance.
Yes. Yeah, you are, and I think as we've seen, players are much happier to let their deck decide if they get all this extra
Yeah,
value.
because that decision is made in deck building.
Yes,
Now, that all being said, I did watch a victor in Amsterdam lose a trance to an Azuri.
that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, like, one is infinitely greater than nothing.
That's objectively correct.
Yeah. Technically correct, the
The
best
best
kind
kind
of
of
correct. Card gamer's favorite kind of correct.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of thought coming in here on this one. It's not overpowered. Like Carlotta could very easily block it, but she is probably looking at two
Yeah.
resources. The fact that tectonic plating wasn't used, like it's a very obvious resource sink that Guardian has access to. Mhm. I think I
Yeah.
think if you have two eyes, or even if you have one eye, it's pretty clear what Pascal has lined up for this bet big. So
Yeah, yeah. And like obviously Carlotta's looking at her hand here, going, if she managed to cover up this bet big, say if there's no shenanigans,
mhm.
to cover it up, you're not going to get the use of that might and vigor,
No,
really.
no, you definitely won't.
Like, sure, you'll get a load from Death Dealer without having to use a resource because you will have one,
Mhm.
but your turn is going to be pretty anemic in the crackback.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that most likely Carlotta is just going to say, "Send it. Give me the
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
Show me the attack react that we all know is there."
Yeah, and like Carlotta can obviously then she's obviously trying to decide, does my hand do more than 12? If I have one less card, does my hand do more than 12?
Yeah.
And even more so, like she's actually giving up. If this connects and there's a pummel, like, it's giving up almost 13 points because of the might.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what most people value a vigor at, but mites are pretty good.
Mites are good.
I've played a mite or two with KO in my life.
You have, yes.
And there it is.
There it is. There
Yeah.
is the Pummel.
Who could have seen that coming?
I sure couldn't have.
Pascal needs one of those metal fab tokens coins. The two resources just has the pummel float
Yes.
image.
Uh, yeah, I am a big fan of the Pummel, the two floating Pummel token.
Right.
Um,
Now, time to decide for Carlotta what is she going to discard.
I think I saw an amplifying arrow in the hand there. That's really good into this matchup, especially now with the low life totals. It's kind of your big finisher versus Guardian.
Yeah, discarding a lace.
Yeah.
Yeah, amplifying arrow, really powerful. Not so much
On a two
on a
card
two
hand?
card hand.
No. Um,
Doesn't do a lot.
no. This could be just a very small, maybe just
Yeah,
loading, maybe pitching this amplifying arrow, loading it with another arrow in hand, loading in another arrow, seeing what the Death Dealer gives you, and maybe just sending across.
yeah. At the very least, you're locking up an arsenal for next turn.
Yeah. Ideally, you have a zero cost arrow there, so you can pitch, load it, and fire it, and then you can still have an arsenal.
Yeah, here we go. Activate Death Dealer. Load and endless. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It's just a snatch that draws a snatch.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Pascal, though, you have to be feeling pretty good about your position here. Four
Yeah.
cards.
Four cards. You've still got some equipment left. You can cover this endless arrow very, very cleanly with
Yeah.
the plating plus a card from hand, and then you can send back. You have your vigor, you have your might. Yeah, you can probably send back something. A nice 10 power spinal crush sounds fun.
Yeah. Now,
7 power
obviously, there is
CNC.
the other downside that, yeah, blocking with a thunk and the tectonic plating
Yeah.
seems pretty clean to me.
That's very clean.
One of the big problems for Guardians, though, is once you've stolen the tempo, you're like, okay, cool. I've drawn four reds.
Yeah.
Sick.
Here's a 3 card 6.
Yeah. I'll pitch three cards to my hammer.
Yeah.
And with cards like Money Where Your Mouth Is in the deck, it might not even be a 3 card 6.
Yep.
Right.
Now, thankfully, there are the two goals as well. So even if Pascal's hand is looking a little bit suboptimal, you can try and filter using the gold tokens to draw into something maybe a little bit better for you.
Right. We have a draw up. Pascal gets a free resource to start his turn, a free +1 to start his turn, and has 2 golds. Using those lovely heavy hitters mini tokens.
Mini tokens, yep. They are.
Cracking a gold, drawing a card. always good to if you have the opportunity to draw and you don't really need it for anything else, just giving yourself the most information possible.
Yeah.
And now we're cracking the other gold with the good time chapeau, allowing Betsy to wager a might and vigor token, which in turn will allow her to turn our hero text.
Yeah. And we're seeing now this disable. It's not quite CNC, but still very, very good. It is wagering. I'm not sure now if Pascal has. Oh yeah, there's a card in hand. So if that's a blue, this will get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're paying for Betsy's hero text as well. It's a warmonger's diplomacy. There's always an opportunity though to play something like that. It's a lot harder with Guardians. Like obviously, it's very, very, very powerful against Azalea.
Yeah.
One of the best cards ever released for punishing Azalea.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like if you're a Guardian, you don't have a whole lot of go again.
No. Yeah, it's an awkward one to use. You kind of just have to keep up your turn. You can't. It's not. Say you take something like 5, which is a very good Warmongers deck because you can go attack, attack, attack. Warmongers, set up your big.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I'm glad you took 9.
Yeah.
Carlotta really thinking about this one as well. So disable 9 overpower. There's not a lot of coverage you're going to have in Azalea
No.
here.
Sometimes you see these Azaleas, they will run some D-reacts or hold the lines, but this does not look like an Azalea deck that wants to play that kind of defensive
Carlotta
sub-game.
really is playing that the bread and butter Azalea. Is like, no, we're playing my game.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah. We're here to fight. I am here to send over big arrows.
Yeah,
yeah. Now we did see Carlotta looking at the graveyard, usually a sign that there is a little book in the hand or in the arsenal for Carlotta, that little codex.
No, I haven't read it. I take Brian Gottlieb's advice. I just don't read it.
You just don't read it?
No, the text is too long.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Disable trigger. That goes to the bottom of Carlotta's deck.
Mm-hmm.
And Betsy wins another wager.
Yeah,
Gets a might and a vigor, setting up for next turn.
Yeah. Now, no arsenal, so we could see a codex punish here.
Yeah, I think a slight miscalc on Betsy's part there as well. Had one resource floating to end the turn. Could have very comfortably
pitched into tectonic plating. Gotten your seismic surge. If your hand lines up, you could send over like a 2-card spinal crush, which is very strong.
Carlotta with the max punish here with the take aim. Exactly what you want if your arsenal gets blown up. Yeah, loading in this lace with inertia.
That was a quick back to the top.
Wow. When your Azalea opponent doesn't even have to think about it.
Yeah. You're scared.
Yeah. Let's see what we have here.
Yeah, probably just wondered if she wanted to figure out a way, like figure out a sequence where she gets to play this lace. But if she was happy to keep that card on top, I think she is going to be getting to dominate and arrow this turn.
Yeah, and like Pascal, obviously in a very commanding position right here.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I know I pointed out that we missed one resource last turn, and really, Guardians operate on such thin margins, especially in the current meta. Mm-hmm. Like, 1 or 2 resources can make all the difference.
Yeah.
All right, pump. Codex.
Let's see it. There we go. Oh.
Are we? I imagine Carlotta probably left that card on top thinking this will be an excellent arsenal off my ponder. But she's really thinking about this now. And this is an excellent punish for Pascal as well, coming off arsenal.
Yes.
So you get to strip a card effectively for free.
Yeah.
You give up no value doing it. And we're going to have whatever arrow it is, +9, no defense reactions from arsenal, not that it matters, and inertia, which crucially is very relevant.
Yeah.
Especially when you could stack things like inertia with Read the Ledger or other ways to otherwise mess with Pascal's turn. Just having a look through his graveyard there, and Carlotta will be like, oh, if I play this codex, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I see that shiny altered Command and Conquer.
Yes, there's a Command and Conquer in there. I will be coming in for 6 because the might will cancel out the frailty, so it's not terrible. But yeah, you don't like getting codexed. Guardian does not like getting codexed. No one does.
Occasionally, it's fine for me when I'm playing KO
I was going to say
specifically.
when you're playing specifically KO.
Yeah, I discard this beast within because I have to the codex. Oh no, I'll
Oh
draw.
dear.
Also, in my testing, our local, one of our locals played it into me, got back their CNC, and was like, "Cool, I will get back my beast within."
Would you like to see
Would you?
a
Would
beast
you
with
like to
him?
hit me with that command and conquer? Take it. What have we got on the discard here?
That is. What is
I have
that?
no idea what that is.
Is that a legal flesh and blood card?
I imagine so. Oh, and we just codex dominate red in the ledger.
So this is 3, 6, 9, 14 dominate.
One action for you.
One action for you, and you get an inertia, and you'll have a frailty. Yeah,
Nasty.
this is nasty. This is kind of what Azalea wants to
Yeah.
do.
Now,
If
77.
77 damage, I don't think Pascal can block that in it.
I don't think that's legal.
I don't think it. Well, feel like there's some shenanigans you can pull an LL that will let you get those numbers.
That's
But
true.
CC Azalea, I don't think can do 77 damage.
This is a tough one as well. Now, obviously, red in the ledger, not the most relevant piece of text against Guardian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're generally only you don't have that much go again. You're generally only doing one thing. It's a bit awkward with tech plating. You'd like to be able to do surge into hammer.
Especially when you have a vigor. I would probably. Oh, was it Thunderquake? That's what was
Ah, yeah, that is a blue block 3.
I would probably be looking at. I have a spinal in my arsenal. It's going to be for 9 because of the might, even through Codex. Give up a card, give up the headpiece and the boots.
Mm-hmm.
Spinal Crush, obviously sick to throw against someone with a quicken.
Oh yeah,
Like really,
good.
really powerful piece of text.
Yeah, it's as we were talking about earlier. Those civic steps, they're a really interesting piece of equipment for Guardian, and yeah, it's very very skill testing. But can be very powerful. That downside can very, if you know how to use them right, is not a downside.
Oh, just taken
Okay.
11.
These two have just been taking lumps out of each other all
Yeah,
game. Those life totals have been going out down like 10 a turn.
Yeah. Pascal really holding on to this armor.
It's definitely something. As I said, I played a lot of Victor this past year, and yeah, you do kind of the more patient you can be with your armor, the better it will serve you. As Azalea starts dominating these arrows in the late game, it can be very hard for her to close out the game if you still have a bunch of your fridge left. So, yeah, Pascal prioritizing being patient and careful with his armor, which is very disciplined Guardian player here.
I can definitely see. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Spinal for 9. Block 6.
Yeah, give me 2 cards.
We have 2 resources floating. One from the vigor, and
resources
one
floating.
from the
One from the pitch.
And it's such a shame. This is would be such a good turn for Anothos because I see 2 tear sunders.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Like tear sunder is such a powerful piece of Guardian of kit in the Guardian toolbox.
Mhm.
Just play a tear sunder, pitch another blue, send the hammer for 7, dominate. Please discard 2 cards.
Yeah, there is no there's no way of blocking that nicely, especially if you're in Azalea or any aggro deck that doesn't have a ton of fridge.
What are you talking about? She has 2 pieces of armor.
Oh, you're dead right. Sorry, yeah. Good old Iron Rots.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terra Sunder, great Guardian, great piece of Guardian. As you say, great Guardian tool. Very fun to play with Boulder Drop. Back in Bravo.
That's
Back in Bravo
gross.
so Terra Sunder Boulder Drop.
Gross.
That's fun. Yeah, Azalea just wondering here what 2 arrows she wants to give up. It looks like a sleep dart and a battering bolt. They're kind of perfect arrows to give up, I think.
They don't really do a whole lot in this situation.
Yeah. Battering bolt, I don't think really does much of anything into Guardian. It can sometimes snipe like D-reacts or block cards or things like that, but generally speaking it's a 2 for 6.
Yeah, and like if you're a Guardian and you have D-reacts. Yeah, I assume you just react
Just
on top of the battering
yeah.
bolt and don't take the hit.
Yeah, this was not great. It's a block 3 arrow. And yeah, this
Yeah.
sleep dart not going to be hugely relevant either.
Now, if you're
So,
Pascal, you're probably feeling okay about this turn.
mhm.
Like putting Carlotta to 3
Yeah,
when we're effectively on 9 with the 10 with the armor as
yeah,
it currently exists.
yeah. You have
Losing,
a little bit more breathing room than it looks. 3 card Azalea hands are not the worst. Now, Seek and Destroy is a very good effect. You like to see that as well. The opt going to the
yeah,
bottom.
snap to the bottom there.
Now, Carlotta still has the Snapdragons available. Oh, I was about to say now. Carlotta can make this turn very nasty with a Codex and
Let's
the
hope she has the double pump. And there is a zero cost arrow in there. I know there's a
there's an
endless,
endless,
several Bolton shots.
several Bolton shots. The Bolton shot's probably not massively relevant on a 2 card hand.
I wouldn't think the endless is either because,
You're getting the Ponder off the Codex.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I imagine we could be seeing just pump into um,
yeah, it's just the endless arrow is
the
going to
endless.
be the target. So
This is just damage. Well, it depends what the pumps are.
a little bit of out of order sequencing here, I assume,
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
yeah,
Yeah, we've got a pump. We've got a pump.
very good pump.
Yeah,
Yep, getting back.
the old Command and Conquer
He'll Command and Conquer, a classic
and
Codex
Guardian
target.
staple.
Guardian staple.
You know, all the best Guardian cards. E-Strike, Command and Conquer,
Conquer.
Pummel.
Yeah, they're staples of the Guardian class all the way back to Welcome to Wraith.
Yeah, yeah. Just those real solid Guardian attacks.
Yeah,
That's why Guardian is so good
yeah.
because their in-class attacks are just so good.
Oh yeah. We we love set like have you seen Spinal Crush? That is a 3 card 9, my friend, with an on hit. You can't get that anywhere else.
No, no, never.
So yeah, 10 damage, no dominate,
10
on hit,
damage, kind of relevant when you're at 5.
very relevant when you're at 5. Now you do have a lot of armor. You can block this pretty cleanly. You can give up 2 cards, and your 2/2 blocks.
Kind of an awkward spot to be in here with the civic steps. Like, you don't want to be giving them up right now without, or maybe you do, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass.
Azalea, you don't like giving Azalea quickens, but also Azalea hands can often line up in such a way that the quicken isn't hugely devastating to you.
I think the Quicken is a tough one when you know your opponent is getting an endless arrow.
Yeah.
So, regardless of what the ponder is,
Hmm.
your Azalea opponent is guaranteed an arrow next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carlotta's drawn for her ponder. Just going to shuffle up the hand a little
Yeah,
bit. Like,
yeah.
I wonder what I'm
I
going to
wonder what it's
arsenal.
going to be.
Yeah.
Waggling the eyebrows.
Yeah. Play the shell game.
Yeah. Um, it is, I would imagine, unless it's another arrow that she drew, I would imagine that is going to be the endless arrow.
Yeah, I would think so.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, drawing up. Okay, this is not a bad,
No.
not a bad
CNC for
return.
8.
You'll take that.
Eight's a good number.
You play a lot of brute. You've done your send packings for 8 or 9 or
Yeah, my
Twitch
CNC's for
500.
7.
Yeah,
Or back in the Briar days, sending the old CNC for 9 with Go Again.
jeepers creepers.
I didn't always play Spellbound Creepers. Listen, Connor's not here. Someone has to
Someone has to.
crap.
I was thinking earlier. I was like, I see you're making up for Connor's absence.
Yeah, his fantastic sense of humor.
Oh, it's just wonderful sense of humor. Yeah,
Connor, we love you.
we love you very dearly. Yeah, yeah, quite an awkward one for Azalea. You're probably looking at your armor now at this point and wondering like how much more value, like how long is this game going to go?
For sure.
Do you want to give up 3 cards here to stop the CNC? You have that quicken.
Like, if you've locked in an arrow in your arsenal and if you have 2 buffs in hand, I
Hmm.
could very easily see Just going, here's my 2 pieces of armor and 2 arrows.
Yep.
Send 10.
Send 10. You're on 3. Your armor's been whittled down. You've got through 2 points of armor left.
Then we become Anothos gamers.
Yeah. Which is, to be fair, a state of being that every Guardian enjoys being in.
Yeah. Here's 4.
Here's 4. Hammer for 4.
Sad hammer.
Sad.
The sad hammer. Unless you're playing Titan's Fist, in which case it's actually Happy Hammer, because Sad Hammer and Titan's Fist is 3.
Very sad. Is it the saddest hammer? Maybe the saddest hammer is a sledge.
No, Saddest Hammer is High Roller.
I forgot High Roller was a card.
Yeah. I played a lot of Heavy Hitters Draft.
Yeah, I didn't. I have thankfully never had to play High Roller in my life.
No, I had to play it day 2 of Pro Tour LA because I was one of the Betsies in my pod.
Fun. How did that go?
2-1.
Very nice.
Yeah, the easiest is just win the die roll and play a red big bop on turn 1.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Just draw the good cards.
Just draw the good cards. It's that simple, folks.
Yeah. And we have here Carlotta. A lot of this game has been drawing the good cards. We've not seen an Azalea hand.
Yeah, we haven't seen the non-attack, load, non-attack,
Yeah.
crossbones, bottom that non-attack, Azalea into a non-attack.
Yeah, shout out to Kuba in round 1 of Pro Tour Amsterdam. 11 buffs in a row, baby.
Oh, that's not how you want your Pro Tour to go.
Didn't get there in that game, I don't think.
I think that sounds very hard to come back from now.
Yeah.
Um,
I was also speaking to James Silver from the Runaways, who 3 of his Pro Tour day 1 games, or even maybe 4, he saw upwards of 8 buffs in a row. And he still managed to 2-2 in CC. So
people are just built different.
Dilt different.
Yes.
2 arrow block and the equipment.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was predicting there.
Yeah, Carlotta.
Happy enough to hold on to that arsenal, which I assume is that endless arrow we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this should be fine. Like, send it over the endless arrow, close the chain, do some Death Dealer stuff. Carlotta still also has Snapdragons, which at this point in the game is going to be very, very dangerous. That one remaining block, that one remaining Quicken token on the boots is going to need to be really, really careful, because if you can line up a Quicken and Snapdragon's turn, Azalea can just pump out the damage.
Yeah. Here we have the endless. Now, also, this definitely has go again.
Yes.
We know it has go again. There was a Quicken last turn.
Mm-hmm.
It has not been represented on the board, so I'm not sure.
We hope that the players will remember that.
Not that it matters, because there's a Snapdragons right there.
Yes.
Now, as well as that, Azalea has won that wager, so she has a gold. Not that it's a thing that's easy to pay for in a deck with 3 blues, but like, hey ho.
3 blues, I think 6 yellows.
Yeah, fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. In this situation, with this endless arrow coming at you, how do you feel about covering 6? Playing around the Rain Razors?
I operate by a creed of, if they have it, they have it. I think, I don't know if you're in a position, because Azalea is threatening a go wide turn, that you can give up 2 cards to block here.
That's fair. If there is a Rain Razors, I think that's maximum punishment here.
100%. Like if she has it, she has it. You can play around it, but I think playing around it puts you in a worse position.
Obviously giving up that buckling blow, which has literally no text.
Literally none. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'll put a -1 counter on your Snapdragon Scalers, I guess.
Cool.
Legal game action.
That is a legal game action, yeah.
Obviously the Quicken has been forgotten about because we've got a Snaps here.
Yeah.
Closing the combat chain, endless into the graveyard, activation of Death Dealer, pitching.
Okay.
Very strange that Carlotta chose not to play that Rain Razors.
Yeah, I feel like you're happy to. I know she wants to send this. She obviously wants to send this around the ledger, but I feel like you're happy to.
She didn't know it was there. It could have been any arrow on top.
True, actually. Yeah, just block 6.
Yeah, cover it up.
We could see an owl. And I'll hammer for 4 here, or also just setting up that arsenal, seeing what you can do with a 5-card hand. I do think, though, in this position, you just want to push the damage. Azalea has such low life. She has no equipment.
Just send over 4.
10-4.
Yeah, you got to give me at least 1 card.
Give me one.
Like an Azalea on a 5-card hand can throw 17.
Yeah.
On a 4-card hand, that drops by at least 4 points.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're happy at this point. Just strip cards out of the
hammer
hand.
before. Block with. If you have a spare arrow here, you block with the arrow.
Yep. Hopefully she does. Hopefully she hasn't drawn the Azalea hand with 2 pumps. You don't want to have to block. You don't want to be blocking a hammer for 2.
No, if it's coming out, it depends. If there's an arrow in Arsenal, you're fine.
Yeah.
But that's a big if.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we do have an arrow in Arsenal, though, because the Red the Ledger only came over for 5 and not 8.
Yes, I think in that scenario, you obviously send over the bigger arrow. Even though it can be blocked, you're happy to just push through the damage.
Yeah, Carlotta deciding which cards she's going to block with. And it's that amplifying arrow. Now, that's one of the scarier cards in the deck. If it lines up right, you could be looking at 22.
Yes.
But I think when we're getting into this low life game,
it's hard to make it work. Now, it's still strong. It is still a very good finisher for Azalea, especially in this matchup. But yeah, I think you're kind of happy to just treat it as a block 3.
Yeah, right. We've 3-2. This is a lot closer than I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed by Betsy.
Yes.
Is Pascal going to go 2 for 2 into Rangers? Or is Carlotta going to continue trying to defend her title here?
Thrilling finish.
Blind Azalea, baby. Let's go.
Here we go.
Gamba.
Could be the win.
And it's that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
And an inertia. And a take aim.
This is coming in for 11 now.
10.
10.
10 on hit, lose a life.
10 on hit. Dominate as well, because this was Azalea.
True.
So this...
Pascal needs exactly staunch response here.
Yes. Staunch response and 2 blues.
Well, it's a Guardian. What are the chances you don't have 2 blues?
Listen, buddy. I've played a lot of Brad. Oh my god, he has it.
Yeah, that's a 10.
That's a 10. Now, does Carlotta have the Rain Razors? We've seen 2. We've seen 1 pitched, 1 played. So, does Carlotta have the Rain Razors for the game? She does not.
Straight covered. Whoa. Now, in this situation, if you don't have another blue and you're Pascal, you're just passing.
Yes.
Which is not where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Not great.
Here, Azalea, have 5 cards.
Yeah, this could get dicey. Now, blind Azalea, you're not massively worried. Like, it is, it's not quite random, but like, there's randomness to it. So you're kind of okay-ish in this board state, but yeah, you haven't got a lot of armor left. You have no life to work with.
Carlotta's deciding if we're gambling again.
You gotta.
I mean, it's the difference between winning and losing, right? Yeah. Do we play to win or do we play to not lose?
We play to win.
I was really thinking about this. I bet you wasn't expecting things to get quite this tense at the end game against Betsy.
Against any Guardian, like, obviously Betsy's not the best of the 3 Guardians that we have access to, but like, Guardian's still Guardian. It blocks well, has a bunch of armor. Not a fun time for Azalea. So to get to this point in the game, I think you're feeling pretty happy if you're Carlotta.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just going for it, baby.
Gotta go for it.
Let's go. What are we ripping off the top?
Pump.
That's a good start. Pump. Plus 3. We take those.
Plus 3 with Blood Rod as well. Blood Rod very, very relevant at this point in the game.
Any point of damage here could spell lethal.
Yep.
Activate Death Dealer, pitching a Spire Sniping, floating 2. Remorseless.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Some serious thinking going on. Yeah, drawing.
Yeah, don't forget that. The busted part of Death Dealer.
And a read the glide path. And a premeditate. And a...
This is 17 damage?
Yeah.
Just a cool 17.
It's very cool.
It's very, very cool, yeah.
Whatever is worth doing is worth overdoing, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's the mantra of Azalea players.
You're at 3, right? Here's 17.
Here's 17.
Figure it out.
Yeah, you do the maths.
Math, very famously, is for blockers.
Yeah, this Remorseless looks like it could be game. Depends, obviously, what Pascal has. But the Remorseless turning off a D react in Arsenal means that blocking 17 is going to be very, very hard in this post
Carlotta
game.
very kindly representing those tokens.
Those very relevant tokens.
Yeah. What's like? Oh, I don't know. You might just take one somehow.
Somehow and end up with a blood rot and a frailty and still probably die.
I'm trying to think, is there an out here? Double staunch response, 2 blues.
We're
Does that even
seeing
get you there? No. Yeah.
so
He has
that's a
the staunch
staunch.
response in Arsenal.
No
Just
good.
giving it up.
Yeah.
Oof.
3, 6, 10, 12. Yeah. And
No.
that is the game.
Yeah. Potential for exactly 13 block, which is at least 4 less than lethal. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, powerful finish from Azalea, but that's what happens if you leave them in those endgame scenarios with 5 cards.
Yep.
There's no telling how much damage they're going to do.
They will just very, very easily.
And boy, did Carlotta blow up. Really well played by Pascal.
Yeah.
Very impressed by how Betsy looked in this game,
Mm-hmm.
especially as someone who has not seen a lot of Betsy played, because
Yeah.
trying to play at like ProQuest, going to Pro Tours, you don't see a lot of Betsy's.
No, you
I
don't.
don't think there was any represented in Amsterdam.
Wow.
I didn't see any inside events anyway. I played a lot of Victors, but not a lot of
Not a lot of
Betsy's.
Betsy's.
So, Pascal, don't worry, you're 1-1 now in the league.
1-1. Hey, that's. I think that's better than most. That's better than what I would have thought a Betsy would be doing.
Yeah, and like really dragging it out
Yeah.
against someone who we have seen is a very, very good Azalea pilot in
Mhm.
Carlotta. So, Carlotta, congrats on the win.
Yeah.
Moving to 2-0 in the league. Not planning on stopping anytime soon.
No, we could be seeing the back to back.
That's a tough one. Tough one for Pascal.
Yeah.
Great one for Carlotta. I am sure the Fabritorium household. She's the more dominant of the Carlos in that house. But we'll have to see what happens in the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you like the commentary, if you like the video, please comment, like, subscribe, give us all the ad revenue, and we will see you in the next one.